I'm so excited to show you this new list tables add-on for Pods Pro. In this example here, I've got a books pod as a custom post type with a number of books already added with images and some other custom fields. And all of this stuff is represented in our list tables. So I've got some list table examples here. The first one here is, this is short code. We got pods table as a short code, and I'm specifying the pod name, the fields I want to show in the table. If I leave this empty, it shows all the fields, which can get pretty crazy. So just might want to consider specifying the fields you want. And then limit, if you want to limit how many per page. I can make it searchable, I can make it sortable, I can specify which fields to sort and which fields to search. And that is represented here. So you can see this ends up being this. I said I just wanted the title to be sorted, so I can click this and resort it. And you can see that there in action. So that's sorting, and I can specify a search. And again, I did specify in this example here that I just wanted the title to be searched. So let's go ahead and search for something like classic, like the genre. So that won't come up. But if I search something like a book name, it does come up. It searches that. So it's kind of flexible for exactly what your needs might be. Maybe you just want a few fields to be searched, or by default you can search all the fields. So there's a lot of really cool things you can make use of there. We've got pagination. So you can paginate and go to the next page, and so on. Pretty nice, and it's got built-in support for any field that you want. So any field that I've defined here, like post thumbnail, this is actually not a field, it's actually a field that's being rendered. So if I do something where I want to call just the URL or whatever, I can specify those things in my fields list. And then I have this really cool Pods 2.8 block. Now this is Pods 2.8 Plus, so you have to have Pods 2.8 installed to be able to access this block. Otherwise it won't show up. So this block here is the Pods Pro list table block. And it exposes all of those options like I showed here, and there's more documented on the site. All options are exposed through this interface. So you can specify the book you want, you can specify or the pod type you want, and you can specify the singular label or plural label if you want to override those things to maybe just for a specific thing like favorite book or favorite books. It would then show those things wherever it needs to in the lists. We've got fields. Again, you can specify which fields you want to show. I can specify overrides for how the data is coming out of the database, so I can order it by default or restrict it by default, having a group by. I've also got select if I want to optimize that query and use joins if I want. And I've got pagination. I can choose my pagination type, which is pretty useful. There's a number of different options here to be able to use. I can show the total count at the very bottom. Let's go ahead and do that. And then I can also specify pagination location. So it could be before or after, or maybe before and after. So this is really helpful. And then I can also do searching. I can enable that or disable it here. I can specify what fields to search. And then I can say, and this is a really cool thing, you can search across relationships. So if I want to search across all of the relationships I might have on a pod, this can search those terms as well. So this would let you do that kind of thing. And then you can specify which fields you want to be searched. In this case, I just have ISBN. And then enable sorting. I can also specify which fields should be sortable. And again, you can do limit and offset. If you want to do offset, you can specify how many records to skip. So this is cool. Let's go ahead and check it out. So again, if you see here, I'm on page 3 of this first one, but here I'm on page 1. And this is handy to recognize because you can actually have multiple list tables on the same exact screen. So if you have like 10 or 12 or whatever, that's not a problem. Every one of them is namespaced appropriately in the parameters it uses in the URL and how it searches and everything. So if I search something here like Cosmos, again, my search is specified just for the ISBN field on this one, so it's not pulling up Cosmos, but you also noticed it didn't pull up Cosmos here. It didn't filter this because these are all entirely separate from everything. So if I go back here and I search for 50420 for the Da Vinci Code, you'll see that that one pulled up. So it specifies things based off of how you configure your pod to set up in the block here. So there's really awesome functionality in this list tables add-on. I'm super excited for you to start checking it out and really throw some really cool, incredible things into it. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.